So you know what they say. There's only two things that you can't avoid in life, right? What is it?
A Lakers championship.
The Lakers are NBA champion.
And taxes.
It would be death and taxes.
Oh, all right.
Or like the Beatles say, 1 for you, 19 for me, tax man. But what we're going to do in this video is we're going to talk about the property taxes that are specific to Orange County, California.
So stay tuned. What's up, everybody? I'm Dezahd.
And I'm Dezahd, and we are with Keller Williams Realty right here in Orange County, California. And if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything about living in Orange County, don't forget to click on the subscribe button, and don't forget to click on the bell so you're notified every time that we upload a new video, because we upload new videos every week.
Yeah, and that's right. And so basically what we are is we're licensed real estate agents in the state of California. And as much as we love doing these videos, what we love more is to help you with your real estate needs. So whether you're thinking about buying or selling a home in Orange County, what you want to do is you want to give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email.
Or you can reach out to us via WhatsApp. However you want to get a hold of us, we've got your back. Okay, so before we start this video, we do have to say that we are not accountants.
No.
So definitely check with your accountant before you make any tax decisions.
Yes, for sure.
We're just giving you kind of like a broad overview as it relates to real estate.
Yeah, we're painting with a broad brush here.
Yeah, so using that broad brush, like what is the broad brush of the specifically property tax situation in Orange County, California?
Yeah, it's funny because people come from all different parts of the country and all different kinds of property taxes. So in Orange County, I would say that the general, and if you're looking at like general property tax rate, it's about 1.1% of the assessed value. That's, again, broad brush. There may be some variance here and there, but that's your more or less your baseline property tax rate. And then also what you have with that is that that's based off of your assessed value. And the assessed value is more or less set at the time of purchasing the property.
Yeah, so what does that mean? So we do get some, we always use that as an example. Like somebody could have, let's say, they are 100 years old and they bought a property in Laguna Beach in 1935. I mean... Yes,
good timing.
Well done!
So what would they be paying taxes off of?
So they'd be paying taxes off of, the main like crux of it is that it's off of the purchase price, but the assessed value, okay, so we have this thing called Proposition 13. And what this did was it set the assessed value at more or less at the time of purchase. And what it does is that it allows as a maximum of a property tax or assessed value increase of only up to 2% per year. So that means that, like, for instance, last year we had a general appreciation of give or take about 20%. The property tax, the assessed value would have only gone up 2% in that time frame. So what you have is that people that have owned these properties for decades, they'll have an assessed value of like 1/10 of like, or even less of the actual real value of the property. But because, most of the other places, they reassess every year off of market conditions. And of course, how they do that is, it could be a little still off of the market price, but kind of close. Here, it's like the assessed value is at the time of purchase. It can only go up to maximum 2% per year as far as the assessed value. And therefore your property taxes can be extremely low.
Yeah, I mean, my sister lives in Texas, and literally just the other day, she was complaining that her property taxes have gone up again because they just got reassessed, and they even fought the assessment, but it's pretty much like exactly what they could pay. They would, get the price of the house if they sold it.
Yeah, you can't fight City Hall.
So Sean, what happens with your property taxes? Let's say you have this house that you've owned forever, and you decide, I want to sell it. So what happens when you purchase your new home?
Well, let's kind of leave it the normal way it was before Proposition 19.
So this is a new proposition.
Yes.
He was talking about Proposition 13.
Yes.
Now we're talking about Proposition 19.
Yeah, but let's say before Proposition 19, way back when, basically...
Which was like 2 years ago,
yeah,
right?
so long ago.
Yeah, this just passed.
Yeah, so basically, before Proposition 19, what would happen is that you would actually have even let's say you have $1 million property, but the assessed value is only like, let's say $100,000. That's an extreme circumstance or example. Basically, if you were to buy a new property, well, you're paying assessed values based off of that new price point. Basically, that's kind of is what it is. So which is kind of a shock to the system for some people. It's going, wow, like my property taxes were so low before, and now they just popped because I bought a new home. Now here comes Proposition 19. It's not for, it's not a blanket thing that helps everybody, but it does help some people. So I believe if you're at least 55 years or older, if you are severely disabled, and I think if you lost your home to a wildfire or some sort of natural disaster, your primary residence, I should say, if you transfer that home, like let's say you bought another property, you could transfer that tax base into the new property. So, I mean, there's a lot of mechanics to it. So I don't want to bore you with all the details.
Yeah, and they're also still working it out because there's obviously circumstances that are coming up that they're still figuring out the law.
Yeah, but the idea is that if you fall in that category of the population this could serve, basically you can take that property tax basis with you to the next property. Now, if the property that you're buying is worth more than what you're selling, then you take that and transfer that base, but then anything extra you're paying off of the market price or the new assessed rate. So if your property is worth $1 million and you bought a $1.5 million property, okay, that $1 million you're paying like the assessed value is only $100,000 on that. You can transfer that $100,000 tax base to that first $1 million, and that extra $500,000 is again new assessed value rate basically.
And then as part of Prop 19, this was actually a controversial proposition because there was another part to it where, let's say you inherited a property, you used to be able to inherit the tax base as well. And that changed with Proposition 19.
Yeah, that's why Proposition 19 passed by the skin of its teeth. It would, because you had some of this benefit, which people really liked as far as being able to transfer their property tax basis, but it came at a cost in that, like, let's say, I have friends that their family owns lots of properties and they bought them a long time ago. So their investments, their property tax basis is way low. But the moment that transfers over to the new family, to another family, to anybody, right? To the heirs. Yeah, to the heirs, that gets reassessed at today's property tax rate. Okay, today's assessed value.
And then we do have to talk about a little thing called Mello Roost Tax. Let's say you're looking for properties, and usually if there's no Mello Roost, that'll be the first thing that the realtor will say in the description. We're like, no Mello Roost.
So we won.
What is Mello Roost?
So Mello Roost is basically, okay, so you know how I talked about in the beginning of the video that as a general rule of thumb, 1.1% is the property tax rate throughout Orange County for the most part. Now, Mello Roost is a tack on to that property tax rate. And that's usually, that's what that's for is newer construction or brand new constructions when initially. So what you have is you have new construction, which chances are that area needs more infrastructure, schools, fire stations, police stations, roads, that stuff. So that's got to be funded by something. And that's what this Mello Roost is. It's basically this tack on to the existing property taxes where, if you're buying a new construction, you may have Mello Roost where the Mello Roost, and it can vary too. So it can make your general property taxes from that 1.1% all the way up to maybe, let's say, about 2%, give or take. So almost doubles your property tax rate potentially. Now, not all Mello Roost does that. So some Mello Roost is only a few $100s, maybe a few $1,000s, or again, up to that 2% level of total taxes.
Thank goodness.
So it's one of those things where depending on the property, and if it's newer than, let's say, the year 2000 build, it may have some Mello Roost attached to it. And that's where you reach out to us and we can check out what's the story on that specific property to tell you, okay, this property is great. However, it does have a $5,000 Mello Roost fee per year. So you gotta just be figuring that into your budget as far as how that property is gonna be. Or we're like, good news, it doesn't have any Mello Roost at all. There's actually some properties I was actually just reviewing yesterday, and basically it was a 2020 build, and on the second line was no Mello Roost. So they were, they just, I guess it wasn't necessary for that particular development. So that's where you want to obviously reach out to us so we can kind of help you navigate those waters.
So that's it. That's our video.
And remember, we are licensed realtors in the state of California. So while we love making these videos, what we love more is to help you with your real estate needs. Whether you think about buying or selling a home in Orange County, what you want to do is when you give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email.
Or you can reach out to us via WhatsApp. However you want to get a hold of us, we've got your back.